Hey, welcome in to a Monday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. Now X is requiring apparently that I become a premium member of X in order to live stream. So I don't understand that. We'll have all we have on the Trump assassination attempt and other things. So hear the band playing. Thanks for joining us. Welcome into a Monday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. It is a much better Monday than it could have been had the assassination attempt on Donald Trump on Saturday night succeeded. And now we will see how committed the left is to its new plea to tone down the rhetoric. As about 20 minutes ago, Eileen Cannon, the judge in Trump's classified documents case in Florida, dismissed the case. Dismissed the case because Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, was not appointed according to the standards by which special prosecutors must be appointed. So will there be an outcry from the left that this is a Trump-appointed judge? It's an outrage. Or will there be measured response to the fact that, yeah, there are federal statutes in place for the qualifications of a special prosecutor, and Jack Smith does not meet them. He is not a state attorney. He was never voted on by Congress. He was never approved by the Senate. So we will see. But oh my, in the aftermath of an epic Secret Service fail, an epic security fail, Saturday night in Butler, Pennsylvania, that allowed a deranged 20-year-old to walk to a building 125-ish yards from Donald Trump's position on a speaker platform, use a ladder to get on the roof, crawl on the roof, be noticed by spectators for minutes, and then, while in the presumably bullseye of counter snipers, who were not allowed to fire upon him until he shot. Donald Trump nevertheless survived because of divine providence, I have to say, and also because that divine providence played out in Donald Trump turning his head at the very second the sniper fired. So we will have a lot on this, but I want to bring you the latest because you've, like me, I'm sure, been glued to the television and news reports all weekend long. Here's a short version of audio obtained by TMZ in the seconds just preceding the sniper firing the rifle. By the way, as this audio is playing out, there are photographs circulating on social media that at least 3 law enforcement officers, I don't know if they were local police, I don't know if they were state police, I don't know if they were Secret Service, but there were at least 3 law enforcement officers within handgun firing range of this sniper, this attempted assassin, would-be assassin, and they did nothing. The AP has reported that a law enforcement officer of some sort climbed up on the roof, and the shooter's response was to turn around and point his AR-15 rifle at the law enforcement officer, and the officer just went back down the ladder, and still there was a passage of time before he shot at Donald Trump, and he was not taken out. Here is that audio I'm speaking about from TMZ. It's short. It's about 23 seconds of what transpired in the immediate preceding seconds of the attempt on Donald Trump's life. There are the shots. There are the shots.
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
Now, that final pop you heard about 10 seconds after the original shots from the gunman was the counter sniper's bullet that ended his life. Here's a long version, about a minute, that shows you how long law enforcement officers on the scene had to respond to this, which they failed to do. There's Trump speaking. Trump speaking.
Look, they're all pointing. Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
What's happening? Yeah, look. There he is.
They see him. They're doing nothing.
Officer.
Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
On the roof.
It's much tougher than
You ain't on the roof, they got.
That audio is like 50 seconds long. He hasn't shot yet. And spectators are there talking about him being on the roof. Officers call attention to him. Now, so I spoke yesterday. I was fortunate to be able to reach someone in law enforcement locally who has been in on and coordinates the planning of presidential visits to Columbus, Ohio, because I wanted to find out if this was what it appeared to me to be an epic security fail. An AR-15 style rifle has a range of at least 600 yards, dependent, of course, upon the accuracy of the person shooting it. But 120 yards is not a difficult shot for anyone who's ever trained at all with an AR-15. This is a shot that anyone who's served in the military can make. This is a shot that any person who's practiced at all can make, particularly when the rifle's outfitted with a scope, which his was. And so I asked this law enforcement person about the situation. I had two questions. Number one, I felt like the Secret Service failed even after the gunfire at Donald Trump, because you can shoot through the bunting on the front of a stage. I thought they should have gotten Trump behind the stage or off the stage faster. And you could say, well, you know, Trump wanted to put his shoes on, or Trump wanted to stand up and pump his fist. In that situation, you don't listen to the protectee. You protect the protectee, and you do whatever you have to do. Trump was allowed to stand up. Trump was allowed to pump his fist. Trump was allowed to expose his face to people. Yes, I know it was all after one of the Secret Service agents said, shoot her down. But they don't know at that point in time if there's a second shooter somewhere. They can't possibly know. They've already failed to detect a shooter 120 yards away. What makes them so sure that there wasn't another shooter? So I asked my law enforcement expert on these kinds of security measures, and he's like, no, you're wrong. The Secret Service did a phenomenal job. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Okay. I did ask him about the female Secret Service agent who couldn't get her gun back in her holster. 2 attempts, couldn't get her handgun back in her holster. And let's just say that the person I spoke to was not complimentary of her efforts. But the other thing I said was, how is this guy? I hear he's outside the perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter to me would be the range within which someone could fire a shot at President Trump, hit him, and kill him. That would be the perimeter to me. The Secret Service perimeter was the grounds of the area where Trump was speaking. So this was outside the perimeter. And my security expert said, yeah, that's an epic fail. First thing you do is high vantage point, direct line to the target. They failed epically in that regard. Now, you can get into all the conspiracy theories about whether that, whatever. And we'd love to hear from Kim Cheadle, head of the Secret Service, but we are now what? Past 36 hours, and we haven't heard a word from her. Oh, a statement. Nope, sorry. The other thing I wanted to know was, if a local officer actually had a gun pointed at him by this shooter, how is that not communicated on a communication channel to state police or to the Secret Service? I mean, my perception, see, it's the same as yours, is that hey, I see a shooter, I see a possible sniper. First question you would ask would be, what? Is he one of ours? There's a guy on the roof, 120 yards away. He's crawling. He's got a scope. Is he one of ours? And my security expert contact said, this is the biggest challenge in situations like this, communication. Because he said, and I find this incredibly fraught with peril, which we almost saw play out in horrific fashion before our very eyes on Saturday night, that state, local, and Secret Service are all on different channels. And that if one wants to communicate with another, you have to get clearance. And what does that build in? Delay. And what does that then allow? Exactly what we saw on Saturday night. Exactly what we saw on Saturday night. So I literally mean this. Thank God Donald Trump is alive, because I can't imagine what our world would be like today. Not because he's a savior, but because the reaction to it would have been